my official second favorite female singer in the local market. So I'm very blessed and excited to have you here.
I am just as grateful to be here.
Cool. So why don't you tell the audience who may not know who you are, who you are?
I'm Kacie Beatch. I am a singer currently here in the Minnesota music scene. But I am not from here. I grew up just in a little town just north of Fargo in North Dakota.
Okay.
And ended up here. I think I've been here, maybe almost 20 years now.
Were you in the movie Fargo?
I missed out on those auditions.
Jeez.
I know.
Come on. Here, I was wondering how famous you were. I guess you're not quite that famous.
Not quite that famous, but
still working on it.
People always say that I've got like just the perfect accent for that show. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, I mean, you still got the slang, right? You're born on the same latitude, I guess.
Definitely. Yep. And like I was born at the latitude where all the O's are very oh.
I was born in Florida, and I've traveled around the world, actually, thanks to the U.S. military. So I've got like little accents from like, sometimes I just form words that don't even make sense. And so.
Or it's all acronyms, right? We have military in common, Will. That's so cool.
Yeah. Were you in the military?
I was in the Army National Guard for 21 years.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. 21 years?
21 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even know you're old enough to be in there for 21 years.
I enlisted when I was 17.
Okay.
So this is kind of part of my music story, actually.
Let's do it. I like it.
Yep. So growing up in North Dakota, I had a musical family. I loved music my whole life, just like, all of my musical friends. North Dakota has a very different music scene, I think, than here. It's, I would say, much richer, much more variety, just so much more opportunity. No, in the cities.
I was going to say, wait a minute, that's backwards or whatever I thought.
Yep,
but yeah.
Yeah, no, you were on the right track. So not that it didn't exist, but I think that there aren't as many venues that have live music. I was kind of getting the impression as I was going through school and I was taking band and choir and all the things, getting ready to figure out, what am I going to do with my life when I'm out of school. And the opportunities that were presenting themselves, if I was to have stayed in North Dakota, it would have been be a music teacher or just do it for fun. So I kind of already had in my mind, like, I'm not going to be a career musician. I better find something else to do. But luckily for me, I was able to get my music fix from the Army National Guard.
For real?
Yes, because North Dakota, Minnesota also has one, has an Army band.
Yeah.
And so I was in the Army band in the North Dakota National Guard for 21 years.
As a vocalist?
And as a drummer.
For real?
A drummer, yeah.
For real? I've seen videos of you playing drums, like with Aaron. I was just like,
yeah.
I thought you just picked it up. No, this is like something you know how to do. That's amazing.
Okay, now it's out there, but I kind of always kept it on the down low because, then people are always like, oh, let's say you drum. I'm so out of practice on drums that I don't want to like start that rumor that I'm like a competent drummer anymore. That was in my past. And, Aaron is like, he's the drummer of the two of us, really.
He does kind of set the bar high for all of us drummers in Minnesota.
It's it's so high I don't even reach for it. So, but that's okay. I got my lane and he's got his. And
yeah.
Sometimes, if he's got a gig, I'll go and like play on his kit sometimes, but not in front of anybody, and there will be no footage of that.
That's cool. So you could be his drum tech as well if
and I am.
Is that
yes.
right?
That was one of my like cool flexes when we were first dating and getting to know each other, and I kind of helped him tear down his stuff after gigs, and he was like, I've never had a girlfriend that does that. So
you actually know where the cymbals go in the cymbal bag. Like, well, what is going on here?
Yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's kind of fun.
See, that's what I love about this podcast is I would have never known that.
Yeah.
And I bet you
Right?
90% of the people watching this video have no clue
Yeah.
that you
Yep.
were in the National Guard for 21 years
21 years.
as a musician, as
Yes.
a percussionist.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
So as a percussionist, did you play drum set, timpani? Like what did you just
So-
kind of do it all? Whatever was the order of the day.
That's such a good question. How do I give you a short answer?
Doesn't need to be short. We got 45 minutes. so-
Okay. Well, so I would say even the unit that I was in the 188th Army Band out of Fargo, North Dakota. And the life of that unit over the many decades that it has been in existence has kind of had a life cycle change over time, right? The time where I joined and before that, our missions were very, I would say, community focused.
Okay.
So we would play music in parades, and we would do concerts in the park.
Mhm.
Or if a little town in Podunk, Western North Dakota was having their centennial, we would be a part of their celebration. We would do send-offs for deployment and welcome homes when other units in our state would be activated. And so it was that kind of work. And so the kind of music that we played was heavily marching band music, John Philip Sousa, and a lot of classic concert band music.
Mhm.
So when I auditioned for the band, I auditioned on drums and very much like the same concert band material that I was playing in high school. It was really, really concert band heavy and marching band. So I was standing in a snare drum, standing in a bass drum, carrying a bass drum, carrying cymbals. It was all that kind of classical stuff. What kind of, I don't know, morphed over time was the type of shows or type of missions, I guess, that we were assigned to. So in the last probably 10 years of my career with the band, it got more into smaller groups. So whereas the entire, all 50 of us would be playing all together in a marching band or in a concert band, we started to split up into, well, let's take these 5 people and make a country group, or let's take these 12 people and do a horn band that does pop music. And so the kind of music and the kind of shows that people wanted us to do changed, and so we kind of changed to give the people what they want, So so that was, I think, more fun for me because that's when I got to do singing more. Because there were a lot of drummers in the band at the time, and no one that really, not that we couldn't sing, but there was nobody just assigned to the job singer. We were just kind of figuring out okay, everybody can play a concert band instrument, but who can play a guitar? Who can play a bass guitar? Who can play a drum set? Who can sing? So I did start out in one of the small groups. I got to play drum set, and we did a lot of country, classic rock stuff. And then towards the end of my career in the Guard, I was one of the singers for a country classic rock. We were called Flashbang. So, yeah.
So, did you know you could sing before you got to this point? Where did singing come up along your trajectory as young Kacie to where you are now?
Yeah. I don't think that little Kacie would have ever thought that I would do what I'm doing now. Both of my parents and their families, there's been music in my life all the time. I remember when I would go to church with my family, usually for Christmas, we would go to my grandma's church. and we would all sit in, the same pew. It was a Lutheran church, and we would sing the same, like, Christmas songs that everybody hears. But if you were sitting in my pew, everybody in my family was singing a different part, like just grandma would sing alto and dad would sing bass. And so I was just exposed to singing in a non-professional sense. So I think like a lot of it was just
That's
naturally.
fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So I just enjoyed it. I don't think I ever took it seriously enough to think like, oh, I could like do this professionally. Like people would come and watch me do this. Like I still can't even believe that people do that. Oh, you're here to watch me. Okay. What? I don't know. I would do it in the shower. And I would just as much fun. I just love it. So
That's
yeah.
so cool, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a story. So did you have to qualify the M16?
Yes.
How often did you have to do that?
We did that once a year.
Once a year?
Now that I don't have to do it anymore, I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
But that was my least favorite day of all of the training days in the drill year. We would go to it was a place called Camp Grafton, which is up in like the northeast kind of quadrant of North Dakota, kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Another podunk, huh?
Definitely. Yes. Definitely one of the many podunks in North Dakota. They have a great lake up there that there's a lot of good fish in, though. So I hear. Yeah. So once a year we would go up to Camp Grafton and we would qualify on our rifle marksmanship. So I had an M16 assigned to me for all 20 years, and I had to. It was fun to shoot. But it was not fun to clean that rifle.
Yeah.
Because it had to be a level of clean that just like doesn't even make sense. Like nobody's going to use this until I use it again. Does it need to be this clean? Come on. And I'm a clean freak, but I hate cleaning rifles. I hate it.
Oh, well, if I have a rifle, I won't force you to clean
Thank
it
you.
anymore, Kacie. Don't
I
worry.
appreciate
So
that.
won't bring any rifles to
For
any
the
of your
record.
shows.
Thank you. Well, for other reasons, that's probably a bad idea.
That's probably, yeah. There's many, many good reasons not to do that.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, so, there's the end of the military,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the Kacie I know today. So kind of fill in the gap there for me.
Okay. So I enlisted in the year 2000. My last year with the Guard was actually not that long ago. So 2021 was when
Right
when
in the middle
I
of
got
COVID,
out.
huh?
Oh, Lord, we don't have enough time for that. But yes, coincidentally, that was when COVID was happening. So that was also kind of around the same time when I was at a little bit of a crossroads, I think, with my music career or adventure, whatever you want to call it. I was not in a band necessarily, like formally. I was sort of bandless and feeling very insecure about that. I was very worried that I wouldn't. This is so funny to say no, but I was very worried that I wouldn't find another project to do, like another musical group to be a part of, or.
And now you're in like 14, right?
I know. It's hard to think back and go, well, and like you said, it was during COVID. So a lot of things were uncertain, not just the music scene, but the music scene was really, really impacted by that time. So there was a lot of things that were just, nobody was really sure about, like how is it going to go? But that was about the time that I discovered the open jam, the open mic scene. So I know you've had disgruntled Mike, I like to call him. Everyone else knows him as
Disappointed Mike.
To me, he always comes out as not mad, just disgruntled. But his jam, and then also the Serums jam at the time, were two that I think like were the springboard to the new projects that I have now. And you know yourself because you've been to them, just what a magical networking
Mm-hmm.
scene the jams are. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I am so grateful for all of the opportunities, all of the people that I've met, all of the like talent I've been exposed to. It's amazing.
I haven't played in many markets, right? So I was a drummer in a couple bands growing up,
Mhm.
Germany, Qatar, or whatever, but never have I experienced in any spot that I've been this open jam thing, right? And now it's like
Mhm.
there's open jams everywhere. I guess there's probably like 7 or 8 more open jams going right now than than there
Yes.
used to be when I first started to notice them. But they are just such a wonderful way to get out and I mean, out of your comfort zone. When I first, you
100%.
probably remember when I first came to Shaw's, I was fucking nervous, man.
I
I was
I
so nervous. I
know.
actually know how to play, but I was so nervous, because I didn't know any of the people in the room. And I just saw eight or nine of them up there slaying on the songs that they were doing. And I'm like, here I am, like, oh man,
You slayed too, Will.
What's that?
You slayed too.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's just like it's and once you do it and I mean, it's the drummers, especially at the Shaw's Jam. I just love how all the
Oh my
drummers just kind
gosh.
of like we're all homies. You know what I mean?
I
We
know.
have to take a picture of each other every time we're there, and
I love the camaraderie, and I'm a little jelly about the drummer like
the
broship
drum
you
love.
guys have. It's so cool that y'all like support each other like that, and that I mean specifically for the drummers because it's like extra cute with you guys, but everybody. I think that's the other thing about the jams that I've attended is that it's one thing to just kind of coordinate the get together of the people, but like you said, I was the same way, and I was so nervous. Like more times than not, you're doing material that you've never really performed before. You're
Hmm.
pretty sure it's not going to be perfect, but you can only get so far rehearsing stuff or learning stuff in your own space by
Right,
yourself.
right, in your little
There's just
bubble.
yes, yep, and you can have it perfect. And this is still me. Like in all of the years that I've been performing, I it's just a different experience when you're on stage. You can have it perfect in your
Hmm.
car, in your shower, or whatever, like
Hmm.
flawless. And then I get on stage and I'm like, oh shit, what was the first line? What was the first line? So, and the jams like that I've experienced on the scene here. Yes, the opportunity itself is cool, but the community that is so supportive, there's no judgment. It's all just like warm camaraderie, support, like what an environment.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, you can fall off the back of the stage in the middle of the song and get up, and people will still high
yes,
five you and tell you
yes,
that you did a
yes,
great job. It's really
yes.
nice.
It is unmatched. I love it. It just warms my heart. Yep.
Nice. So, tell me a little bit about some of the projects that you're on now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm on a
You
little
went
bit of
from
a
being, hold on, you went from being nervous at the jams to like,
still
oh,
nervous.
I'm
at
going to
the
do some
jams.
rush and like just do like 7, 8,
I
and
know.
then, let's
Mm.
13, 16.
I said no math, Will. No math. Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So I would say up until just recently, I guess was it maybe a year already? When's my anniversary with Maiden? It's math. So I
Some time
started
ago.
out like I said. So when I started my music career, it was in North Dakota. There was very much and I don't want to speak for like what it is now or other people's experiences, but for me, I felt like there was if you were going to go out and see live music, the most successful groups were doing more country, more classic rock. So the first band that I was a part of that performed live was a country band, and I was the drummer. And it was all cover music, right? And then the bands after that, even, when I first moved to the cities and was doing bands here, it was all cover bands. So I got very, I don't know. I don't know how I had this in my mind that like, well, cover bands, that's the only, that's what you're going to do, Kacie. Like that, this is what you can do. So I had no idea that, you know, tributes were a thing that I could do.
That seems
Yeah,
to
I
be
just
another huge trend in Minnesota right now.
definitely,
Tribute bands,
yes,
tribute bands.
definitely. Not something that I feel like I would find back in North Dakota, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not, no disrespect. I love North Dakota. I love my home, um, but the opportunities here have been just outstanding. So my first taste of the tribute scene was actually it was during one of the Shaw's jams, and Aaron Schmidt, who is one of the most fantastic guitar players I have ever worked with and a very outstanding person.
Mm.
He had approached me and Aaron saying, "Hey, yeah, so I had this Iron Maiden tribute band, and we are kind of on a hiatus right now because we're short a drummer and a singer. Would you be interested in this?" And I have to admit, my first reaction was like, "Kacie, do you know any Iron Maiden? What's an Iron Maiden song? I I mean, I know like two." And I kind of looked at Aaron. I'm like, "Are you sure that this is? Are you, like, there's nobody else? Have you asked other people?" But gosh, I can't believe I am so grateful that I decided to agree to that opportunity because oh my God, this band is so killer.
Mm.
I just mm, and now I love Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I never would have, I think, gotten as passionate about it as I have had I not like had to learn a bunch of material.
Yeah.
And
They've
I
got quite the
mean,
catalog.
holy smokes. I mean, they've been around longer than I have, I think. And, Bruce Dickinson, the guy is just theatrics in a skin suit. I mean, he's just so it's been so fun to try to emulate him. I've really had to come out of my shell to, I don't know, present the essence of Bruce as best I can, but it's been super, super cool. So, 2 Minutes to Maiden, that's one of my projects of the moment. The latest tribute that I have had the pleasure of being involved in is Exit Stage Right, which is a tribute to Rush. This is another existing tribute band that had sort of gone dormant
Oh,
and
really?
then
I didn't know that they were
yes.
around before, huh? Okay.
Yes. Yep. So Peter Gard, who is our fantastic drummer in that band, he was involved with Exit Stage Right and wanted to resurge. This was funny because the Rush thing, I don't think there was necessarily any intention of doing a tribute until we were kind of doing like little one-off Rush tunes at the jams.
Hmm.
And more people were kind of coming up to us and going, "When are you going to start this tribute? Like, you guys you slay, like, do it." So then that's, after the however many like comments of that, we're like, "Well, okay, fine. Yeah." But I mean, talk about like number of projects. Like Aaron Schmidt's got a ton of projects. Peter, I know, has a couple now. Wayne, I mean, they're all like just,
Yeah.
well,
Busy,
I don't,
busy working
yes,
musicians, very
yes,
talented people. Yeah,
yes.
Peter's definitely no slouch on the drums. Such a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
player.
And Ted Byrne, who's like, he's one of the house guys at the Mad Mike's or at Route 47. So, that we've all got saying our only project, which is kind of cool in that there's a little bit of like a self-limiter on how often we play. So there's a lot of time to just be thoughtful about the material and really, really polish it up. And so I've been grateful for that because I'm a little bit of a slow learner when it comes to new material. I have to do a lot of reps before it clicks with me. So, so the tribute's been kind of a good fit for me, I think. So, but I think I'm good with 2 for now. That's fine. In addition to that, my other projects, which are cover bands, cover to cover. So our shtick with that band, genre is more like, oh, what do I call it? Like 90s, 2000s emo, ska, punk. We do well with like the millennial crowd that likes to, I don't know, dance to My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and Green Day. We're very, very high energy.
Okay.
And we wear ridiculous costumes.
That's all I've
Yeah.
seen so far. I haven't seen the band. I've
Yeah.
seen the costumes.
Yes.
That's
And
great.
that's kind of I think that's kind of the shtick, is that we are not polished. We don't take ourselves seriously. We look ridiculous. And I think people have kind of latched on to that and like, oh, that's the fun band that just does all the weird shit. So yeah, so that
Awesome.
one's been fun. I've had that band for about 5 years. Love those guys. And then there's Whale Tail. So that's another that one's we're more in the early stages of that one, where we haven't had quite as many shows, but the bright spot in that one is I would say, vocal powerhouse. Every single person in that band can sing. And
Yes.
so I think we're still in the early stages of kind of honing in like what is our focus, I guess. What's our brand there? Because everybody kind of wants to do everything, and we're like kind of good enough to do anything,
I
but
was
we
gonna
have
say,
to
but
really
you guys really can do everything. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I know
but
I've seen you. I think I've seen you twice, and yeah, you guys had quite a range
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
from
But it's a little like
Alicia
all over the
Keys
place.
to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
70s funk to
Right.
yeah, it was
Yep, to like maybe, yeah, depending on what show you came to, there's probably like a little metal, a little, yeah, we kind of all over the place. So we're trying to hone it in,
uh-huh.
figure out what we're like, stick to one thing or two things. So, but yeah, yeah. Am I forgetting anything?
That's 5.
That's 5. Oh, one more.
Okay.
Because I told you I started with country. I had to plug back into country. So
Okay.
there's this new project that we're doing We're doing the showcase at Mad Mike's at Route 47 this
Okay.
Thursday. We're called Twang Cities, and we're doing country
Okay. And are you
Yep.
singing or drumming?
singing.
Okay.
Yep. Aaron,
No more drumming in
I-
your career.
there are so many good drummers. I mean, there's a drummer collective. If I ever did it, it would be for fun in the basement. I will let the people who are better at me as drummers like be the drummers. Plus, the loadout is so much easier as a singer. I tell you what.
Yeah. I think you're right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So,
I always
yeah.
have to get to the show about an hour earlier than everyone else, and
Yep.
typically the last one out the door as well. So
That's always the case. Yeah. Life of a drummer, man. Mm-mm. You can have it.
yeah. It's funny because you talk about like the beauty of moving to the Twin Cities and how great it is here. But
Mhm.
I had the guys on from Bogarts several episodes ago, and that's a lot what Chris was talking about. One of the owners there and the marketing guy there is just that it's like Minneapolis and St. Paul really is kind of like center mass, except for Chicago, right? Chicago's a bigger one, but that's when you're trying to go really big. But if you just want to come from any of like these 5 or 6 surrounding states and go to where something is actually happening, Minnesota's got it going on.
Mhm.
It's really a great and vibrant community of musicians.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've been very, very, just fortunate to have met so many people. And what I love about it most is like they're awesome, awesome musicians, so talented. Most of them are like so modest and cool and kind and like just the coolest people.
Yeah.
They're Minnesotans. They're
Right.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A few outliers.
Oh, there always are,
But yeah,
but
most
yes.
everybody's just really
Yeah.
awesome to get along
Overwhelmingly,
with.
yeah.
So I have a very important question for you,
Okay.
Kacie. Something that's been burning on my mind. Where in the hell do you and Aaron get these ideas for these
Oh my God.
videos? Like, what's your process?
I don't know. So I think we're both pretty weird people. And I think that we, most of the time, like normal people, I think suppress that behavior, but we just like, bring it out of each
Let's
other.
videotape
I
it.
know. I'm gonna mostly blame Aaron because he probably told you this on his episode, but like he's got this whole YouTube channel that's like years old, all kinds of stuff, and he's definitely more the kind of person who is comfortable like being on camera and just, putting content out. It's funny because our styles are very different. He's very his stuff just comes to him and then he has to get it out. Like, let's do it right now. You should see no, you should not see our basement. Because it's just this
It's like a
it's
secret
just
layer, huh?
it
Of
yeah.
creativity.
Yes. And it's not it's there's there's just stuff everywhere. um yeah, so Aaron will come up with something and he'll be like, "Okay, let's film something." Like he'll think of a melody or whatever and he's like, "Let's record it right now." Or there's an idea of a sketch and he's very comfortable just doing stuff off the cuff. Just see what comes out, we'll film it, we'll do it later. We'll fix it later. I am the complete opposite. So I need to sit in. If I have an idea, I've got to kind of, simmer with it. I'm like a slow cooker that way,
Okay.
like the flavors are going to get better if I just cook for a while. And so it's just constant balance of, he's like, "Let's go." And I'm like, wait, can I, but I think having those two styles, if we can work together, if, when we work together, it's I don't know. I'm proud of some of the as weird as it is, I'm proud of some of the stuff that we put together. I very, very much appreciate having a partner like Aaron
Hmm.
because he's creative. We both have a passion for music. We both have a passion for creating. He has really pulled me out of my shell when it comes to um just like get it out there
Hmm.
because that's what he does, and it's forced me to do that more often and just become more comfortable with it. And um yeah, I just appreciate what we've I didn't answer your question.
It's a
But
great story.
yeah,
It's
so
okay. I
yeah,
mean, I asked what's the creative process, and you kind of told me what the
yeah,
creative
it is.
process is. For Aaron, there is no creative process. It's literally
It's not a process,
pop
it's
out of bed
just
with a crazy idea, and it has to
yes,
be done right now. But you're more like,
yes,
okay, let's slow down and
yeah,
see exactly. Let's map it out, and it's funny. I'm married to a musician as well, and so I understand the yin and the yang, and
mm,
the opposites attract. So
yes,
me being a giant and my wife being very tiny, and
yes.
her being like an Energizer bunny most of the time, and I'm usually pretty slow and serious until I get drunk, and then I'm a little bit over the
Oh,
top.
yep,
But
yep, same.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good mix.
cool. Yes, agree.
And you guys met through the
We
jams,
did,
right?
yes, yep. When I started attending the Serums Jam back in, I think, 2022, 21, 22. That was in my like, "Oh, woe is me, I'm not in a band, I have to, like, find my next thing." And he was the drummer, the house drummer in the jam, that was on Thursdays at Serums. So, he was seeing someone at the time, so, it took a little while before I found out that he was on the market, so yeah, so, yeah,
So
that's
you
where
went
that's
after him, huh?
well,
Ah,
hold on, let me see. How did this all play out? How did this play out? Um, I okay, funny, cute story. Um, So I would go to the jams every Thursday, and he was the drummer. We actually didn't really get to know each other quickly through the jams because honestly, there weren't a lot of drummers at that jam at the time. So he played the whole night. It wasn't like Shaw's where there was like, oh, how many drummers are there this time? 14? Okay. Like it'd be funny to come home from the Shaw's jams and Aaron would be kind of pouty, like, I only got to play 4 songs. I'm like, babe, this is for the jammer. He loves drums. I know that he probably loves them more than me sometimes. I just have come to accept that. Yeah, but so we met at the Serums Jam, but really kind of got to know each other more through I guess we tried to start a band together, and that sort of fell through. But I remember asking him at the end of a Serums Jam, I said, well, what are you playing anywhere this weekend? And he said, yeah, my original band is playing at my company's Christmas party. And I said, oh, that's nice. And I immediately thought like, okay, well, that's not a public event. And he said, well, you can come. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah. And I was in my head, I was like, no, you're not doing that. But then he messaged me like the night of his show, and he said, hey, there's a name tag for you here. So, whenever you stop by the front for your name tag. And I'm like, oh my God. I better go now because of course I wasn't doing anything on this Saturday night randomly. And I show up to this company Christmas party for a company that I did not work at. And I sat at the only empty table and I watched Aaron play for his company Christmas party. And he was wearing this Christmas sweater that said, single and ready to jingle. And I was like,
oh man, that's hilarious.
So I was putting all these pieces together. And fun fact, I still have the name tag from that Christmas party because I thought, okay, all right, Aaron Cole, I know your angle here. So that's, I guess, kind of where it all started.
Pretty
So,
smooth.
Yeah.
Pretty smooth.
And then here we fast forward to this year, Whaletail actually played his company Christmas party.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
Sweet.
full circle.
Yeah.
Got a new name tag though.
What's his original band's name?
Who Shot First?
Right.
Yes.
He's kind of taking a hiatus on that now, right? I think he
I
told me.
I think, yeah. I know that they are putting together another album.
Oh, cool. So they're like in the
Yeah.
writing stuff now. That's
well,
fun.
recording even, I think. I mean, it's all written. There have been many an evening where I don't even ask anymore. Like people will just sort of show up at the house, go downstairs, and there'll be music, and I'll be like, okay, I'll, watch my shows, whenever, do the laundry. So it's just, yep, there's always something being created at Aaron Cole's house. So.
Well, and that's kind of neat too, right? The two of you both
Very.
being musicians. Obviously, and both of you take it pretty seriously. So you both, I would assume, give each other quite a bit of space to kind of like spend the 7 hours or whatever doing whatever you're.
Yeah, that's another interesting. I think that if we were to compare passions, I would call Aaron more passionate than me, in that I think Aaron needs drumming the way he needs air in his lungs. I can tell for him that it's just a necessity in his life. Even if there's not a show to play, like just sitting down at the set and having no agenda, just flowing out of his body. It's like therapy to him. I don't know if I necessarily relate to that, in that I am perfectly happy having a weekend off and like never having to put on a real pair of pants, But I can sing in the shower. It's harder for him to drum in the shower. So it's a different kind of passion, I think. It's just, I don't
Mm.
know, manifests itself in a different way. Um, I I think I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
No, but
Can you edit that out?
it is funny and fascinating
Yeah.
how it hits each of us a little bit
Mhm.
differently.
Yes.
My wife has gone through. We all are defined by many different facets of our life, right? And as we continue to
Yes.
grow and get older, we start to kind of get into new things, find new hobbies
Yep.
or new interests, and you kind of really want to dig into that. And you might put something that you used to love off to the side. And my wife has done that many times where she didn't really think she even wants to sing anymore. And I feel exactly the reaction you just had is how I feel every time she's kind of like backing away from the stage, and I'm like, babe, I mean, don't do it for yourself, do it for me. I mean, that's what I fell in love with you up there, and I just know who you are and how you perform. And and I think also like you were talking about how like you got into Iron Maiden, didn't know really Iron Maiden when you got into it. Now we've got her in our freaking metal band. You know what I mean?
And
And
she's such a natural. Oh
it's
my God.
but
She
she nobody would have ever thought she
oh,
would belong there, but
right.
she is so good there.
Oh yeah.
So
Just a
amazing.
natural. She just, I mean, to watch Kay perform is like there's just this radiance. Like you can it I can't even describe it. I mean, people can sing and then Kay just like exudes. She just you you just you receive her aura. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's you know what I'm talking about. I'm
She
trying.
does, she's the marketing person for our company now as well. And she goes around to these different marketing meetings, and somebody described her as a cursing Labrador. And I said, that is so perfect, right?
Yeah,
She's so friendly
I
and
mean,
bubbly and
like a
whatever,
micro
but
Labrador, like a smaller breed.
maybe, yeah, maybe
Because
like a
she's just like,
Chihuahua. Yeah.
yeah.
But she's
Yes,
just so full of
just this
fun
person.
energy, but she
Yes.
also doesn't mind throwing a cuss word or two in every
Hey, I'm
sentence. So
fluent. Like you and I, we know swears, acronyms, and swears. That's the first thing you learn in the
the
military.
military,
Yeah,
right? Yes,
yeah. So,
exactly.
yes, yeah,
Awesome.
no doubt.
Cool. I love to wrap these up with the same question for everybody,
Sure.
Kacie. I want you to tell me who you think should be on this show.
And I can only pick one.
No, you can pick more than one.
Okay.
I had Eric Mangy,
I know of
Mangy.
him.
He
That's
sent me an Excel spreadsheet afterwards.
oh
He mentioned a
my.
couple people that was here, and then
Yeah.
kind of sent me so I don't know if I'm going to be able to invite all of them, but I would give
Well,
it a
if
shot.
I mean, I'm gonna advocate for my own people. So I'll give you a short list of like Sean Foster Hewitt, Aaron Schmidt, if you haven't had him yet,
Not yet.
Mark Ganji, that's a
I
character,
haven't had
and he
Mark
will
yet
have
either.
stories for you.
Yeah.
And Wayne Zer, have you had him?
Wayne, I have invited. I think he's on the
Okay.
calendar
Yep.
already.
Every time I chat with Wayne, I smile because he's just he's like corny and kind, super talented, really smart. I mean, I would watch a podcast of this guy.
Is that right?
For sure.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you're the second person that recommended him. I can't remember who
Cool.
it was that
Yeah.
recommended him before.
And
but yeah.
he's got quite a laundry list of bands too. So
Yeah.
mhm.
I think we went out to one of these drummers' breakfasts, which you may have heard are happening
Yes,
around town. I
I
went to
have
one of
heard
them,
of
and
them.
and Wayne was there, and he told me actually that he has thousands of stories for me. I said,
Yes.
okay, come on, man, let's do this. And then shortly after, I had somebody on, and they recommended him anyway. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. I consider it like my vote is there too.
awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks, Kacie.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Will. This
Hopefully,
was
was it
great.
as scary as you thought I was going to be?
Yes, but
It was. There was no
I-
push-ups
no,
and
it was-
no rifle qualification involved in
Thank
this.
God. Yes. I am very much a homebody. I work from home. And so anytime I have to leave the house, it's kind of like okay, do I have pants on? Did I wash my hair? Did I, it's like that checklist that like a person shouldn't have to do, like if they're normal, but I have to.
But we've established earlier with these videos you guys are putting out, you are not normal.
That's
which is
true.
freaking awesome.
So thank you for setting that baseline for everybody. That's helpful.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Will.
it.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. It's
Yeah.
been pretty cool. Hey there, Minnesota music family. If I haven't personally reached out to you yet, consider this your 100% official invitation to join me on the Minnesota Music Note. I'm Will McLeod, co-founder of the podcast crew here in beautiful Robbinsdale, host of the show, and the guy behind the kit for the band Hits and the Misses. I started this podcast because I want to get to know the people who make our scene tick. Whether you're fronting a band, spinning hip-hop, running sound, booking shows, running shows, or teaching the next generation of talent, your story belongs here. We've had everyone from videographers to festival organizers on the mic, and we're just getting started. It doesn't matter if you're playing arenas or just making magic in your basement. If you're part of the Minnesota music community, I want to chat. Slide into my DMs or hit the email below, and let's hang out and talk shop.